This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Okay, so it's Monday, which means it's time for a bit of a solo breakdown and analysis. Now then, a few weeks ago I did a video entitled something along the lines of, I can't remember, an iconic 70s sax solo on guitar. And basically that was the solo from the Hazel O'Connor tune, Will You? But a lot of people in the comments section of that video were going, oh, I was expecting Baker Street by Gerry Rafferty. But it wasn't. However, today is. But we're not doing the sax solo from that song. We're doing the absolutely fabulous guitar solo played by prolific session guitar player Hugh Burns. So, without further ado, here's the solo and a little bit of an explanation as to what's making the whole thing tick. Okay then, let's take a look at what's happening in this rather tasty little solo, beginning as always with the chord sequence. There it is on screen, and I'll just have a quick play through it. It's like this. Twice through that is the backdrop for the solo. So let's have a look at the notes in each of those chords, and there they are. And what we can do is add all of those notes together, and if we treat D as the root, because the D chord is very much the tonality of what's going on, of the chord sequence, that's where everything sounds like home, then we get something called the D Mixolydian Mode. Now, when you start talking about modes, there is always, a discussion of what each mode sounds like, and, briefly, if you were to sum each mode up in terms of one word, the Ionian mode is happy. The Dorian mode can often be said to be jazzy. The Phrygian mode is quite a dark-sounding mode. Lydian, well, that's kind of going to give you a very progressive rock kind of sound. And the Mixolydian mode, well, it's no coincidence that you find the Mixolydian mode in the music of AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, Bad Company, all of those classic rock bands that have a very strong bluesy element. It's a great mode for playing blues and blues rock. Okay, the Mixolydian mode sounds bluesy, basically. So what do you do over any kind of bluesy chord sequence, even remotely bluesy? Then, well, it's the minor pentatonics time to shine, isn't it? So, that's what's going on in this solo. You're doing blues or anything bluesy, you use a minor pentatonic, and here we're using D minor pentatonic in various patterns and positions up the neck that I'll probably talk about as we go through the licks. So let's take a look at those licks then. We begin with this 3-fret slide from the 20th fret down to the 17th fret, or, in note terms, a C note down to an A note. Like that. And then bend that C note up to a D. And that's kind of coming out of position 4 of D minor pentatonic. Like that, but just the top part of it. Then we come down into position 2 for this lick. Then we have a position 1 lick. There it is, nice and slow. Just make sure you kind of get that big leap up to, from the first finger on the 10th fret up to your third finger for the bend on the 15th fret. That's possibly one of the trickiest parts of the solo, but you know, you can soon kind of get used to it. So after that, we then go back up to this 15th fret G note here to bend up to an A again. Now, what I've done when I've tabbed the solo out in the music notation is I've approximated the rhythmic element of what he plays there. It's quite sort of abstract, if you want to describe it like that. And then when I played the solo, I approximated my approximations. It's not about rhythmic accuracy for that there. He's just caning the living daylights out of that bend there and putting as much soul into it as possible. And that's the first half of the solo. The second half of the solo begins in exactly the same way the first half began, with that kind of lick there. Then we do a position 1 lick, which we slide down into position 4 down here. So that lick all together goes like this. Then we're back to this bendy stuff again up here. So we start with a something like that, and then we have this fast little semi-quaver based pull-off lick which goes like that, and that's the solo done and dusted. Brilliant little exploration of different pentatonic shapes and great phrasing. A lot you can learn from this solo in terms of phrasing. Loads of great stuff to learn in this solo. Have some fun with it. And as always, there is a full tab of the solo in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a backing track to play along with, and that little clip that you've just seen there of me playing and explaining the solo. That's all up on my Patreon page. There's the address, link in the description. Only $3 a month and you get all of these extra resources that go with these YouTube lessons. And, you know, just thank you to everybody who's supporting me in that way. It is truly appreciated. I'm really grateful. And that's pretty much it for today, folks. Hope you found the video useful, informative, maybe even a little bit inspiring. And if you have, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not give me a like while you're at it? If you're interested in supporting the channel, as I say, there's the whole Patreon thing, or there's a whole wealth, a plethora, you might say, of other methods you can do exactly that. All the links are downstairs in the description. You can buy a Fret Zealot and get a little bit of money knocked off. You can enroll on one of my Udemy courses. You can buy some wonderful, genuine gemstone handmade jewellery as crafted by my very clever wifey, and there's some pictures of the kind of stuff that she produces. As I say, all the links are in the description. Thank you so much if you're supporting me in any of those ways, and thank you in advance if you're thinking of doing so. Right, well, that's it for today, folks. So I'll take this opportunity to bid you a good day and say look after yourselves, stay well, folks, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.